Hello everyone, McJaw here. I just wanted to take a moment today to look over the things that I published in 2024. It's February now, so maybe it's a little late to be doing this, but I liked the idea. So I'm just going to dive right into it. The first thing I published on Nexus in 2024 was the Cricket Submersible. This was a big milestone for Vehicle Framework. This is the first submersible type vehicle, which is to say a vehicle that you don't stand up and move around inside of, like the Cyclops does that, and the Odyssey you can see in the background there does that. The Atrama is that way. On the other hand, the Cricket is more like the Seamoth, so you just sort of touch it and then you are piloting it right away. So that feature of Vehicle Framework was developed hand in hand with the Cricket. This is sort of the prototype one. I really like the Cricket. It's not quite as agile as the Seamoth, but it has a really neat sort of trucking mechanic that I like a lot, where it has its own special containers, little storage containers, little floating lockers, and you can pick them up using the Cricket and then drop them off somewhere else. I think it's really cool. Some users have said things like, would you ever consider stacking them up? Here, this person says, maybe you can have an upgrade so that they all stick in and they kind of come out in a stack. And I like the idea. I think it would be funny if they just stacked up normally and you had something like Death Stranding, where you just had like a really tall stack of containers coming out of the Cricket. But anyways, publishing this mod represented a big milestone for Vehicle Framework. Love the Cricket. Okay, I sort of had nothing come out. Like, this came out in January, so the Renault 5 didn't come out till June, and I was working on it almost that whole time. Around the end of June, I think, or February, I don't remember exactly. I was invited to submit a proposal for this project, which maybe I can find. Let me just. Mod R5. I'm pretty sure it's this here. So let me just show this for a second. This is the campaign. No, I don't want your cookies. And it's this like landing page. So there were other related mods: Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox. Even Stray had one, and there's the Subnautica one. There's ours. So I'm really pleased about this mod. It was a cool project. It was a cool thing to be a part of. It took a long time. It's a fresh new model based on the real live vehicle. The wheels are gone and we have like little fins. But most everything you see, I guess there's these antennas. The actual car doesn't have that. But a lot of the other detailing was sort of painstakingly created to match as closely as possible. So it's a really good replica, and I'm really happy with it. Another cool part of this mod was, since it was, Renault is a French company and it was a French business that sort of contracted me. The whole thing is offered in French too, so a lot of the descriptions, I think, and at least the voice is in French. So that company actually offered translations for me, and then one of my favorite collaborators, Sharuba Foxy, did the voice in both English and French. So very cool. It looks really nice inside. This is, I think, the first time I had the steering wheel do anything. Like, it moves back and forth, but the player's hands don't actually track it. My understanding of having hand tracking was pretty sort of naive at the time, so it didn't look good. The player's arms didn't like bend in ways that were like visually appealing, so I just left them off so that it looked cleaner and just altogether better. So oh, it does look nice though. So this was all made bespoke for this mod. Oh, it's cool. Very cool. Okay. So next in line, the Crush drone. this was another vehicle framework milestone. Um, Vehicle framework didn't change like at all between January and June, so um, I was just up to other things in my life. But working on this project, which was like an all the time thing, honestly. So vehicle framework didn't change at all, and then as soon as I popped the Renault 5 off my stack, I started making big changes in vehicle framework again. So another big milestone, adding the ability to do drones, to have drones. Um, right now, even still, like it's February, that was July, so it's been like 7 months, I guess. No other drones yet, um, but vehicle framework supports them now. So right, like I said, it was a big vehicle framework milestone. We're using this free model I found. I might have paid like $5 for this on Sketchfab or something like that. I like it. It's not exactly a perfect fit for the Subnautica style. Um, I think it would be very cool if you could control the drone from the PDA, but I don't know how to do that. I think I looked into it a little bit. Adding PDA tabs is something I haven't really dived into. So at least in the meantime, I think that the drone station here is like a really cool uh, option, and it adds like a, how do I say, it's not so dependent on, I don't know, the mouse, I guess. Like it does support the mouse, but you can look at it and use the gamepad, and but I don't know, maybe using the PDA with the gamepad is, it's probably better than I imagined, but um, yeah, I think it looks really nice. Recently there was a bug where if you have like a different size resolution, like if you had a 1440p monitor, the whole HUD here would be kind of like offset to the right or to the left or whichever it was. That was a recent fix in vehicle framework. Um, I'm really happy with the Crush. I don't think I have. I mean, I have like a little video here. Um, don't want to play the video over the video exactly, but take me to. I was really pleased with its ability to, or rather, I had to sort out animations like this. So you can see it like punches that rock and then picks it up. So I made those animations, and that was the first like real animation thing I'd added to anything. Um, in the sense of like really moving that model in like a rigged sort of way. So I'm really happy about that. So a few new things here. Um, so let's see. Just like maybe like a week later, I came out with the Crabsquid protection module. Um, I love making upgrades for vehicle framework. I think it's really cool. Then when I make an upgrade, it applies to like every vehicle that exists, and there's like a dozen out there now. So I really feel like this is kind of a force multiplier in like creating content. This is not a very popular one. I think it's maybe like, excuse me, maybe like the least popular upgrade I've made. It does honestly so little. I have sort of a silly picture here. This just shows where you build it, but honestly these menus have changed a little bit. So it's kind of outdated, but what is the recipe for this thing? I didn't even say. But all it does is it makes it so that the vehicle in which you have it installed cannot be disabled by a Crabsquid. So Crabsquids normally do their little EMP blast, and your vehicle will like shut down totally for, I don't know, like 5 to 10 seconds. So if you have this installed instead, it won't be disabled, but it'll cost you like a little bit of power right off the top, but you'll get to keep going. So a simple mod, and I made a video about this one. I made a video about like the whole creation of this mod. I thought such a deep dive might be cool, but not a super popular upgrade module, and it wasn't a super popular video either, haha. There's also this drone range upgrade, which was a relatively easy one to make. This came out like a month later, it looks like. It does, I think its purpose is obvious. So I'm 700 meters away from the drone station, and it's really blurry, but if I install a module, it's less blurry and they stack. So basically you can go farther in the drone without the connection going away. I think this isn't a very important module to have. Looks like each one boosted by 200 meters. I think you can go like 300 meters, no problem. It depends on how you use the drone. I think a lot of players use the drone in a way that like they're staying close anyways. But it's funny to think this one's like more popular by like kind of a landslide than the Crabsquid module. So this one's cool. It was very easy to make. Gosh, I think it was like, well, let me just look at this here. It's so simple. I mean, can I just slide this thing over here? Like this is basically the whole mod, and then there's one line in the BepNX patch that registers the thing with vehicle framework. So anyway, this is not me. Not a video meant to go into all the source code, but anyway, simple mod. It's cool. I liked making it. Then there's this third-person mod. I think someone asked me for this. I'm very liable to make things that people request. I was surprised that there wasn't one already, but since I made this, I think several months after I made it, there's some different one, or there's even some different one. I don't know. Maybe there's two now, I guess. Are these both newer then? That was October 2023. But it looks like it's only for Legacy, so I guess that's why I went ahead and remade it. And then someone made this one. This is a cool mod. You can see in this image, like, after I made this mod, I started, just using it. Like, there's the beluga in the background, but you can see the back of the Seamoth has, like, twisted and animated, like these little flaps. These things, like, animate smoothly as you roll around in the Seamoth. And I had no idea, so it was really cool to snap this mod on and see some animations that Unknown Worlds added for us that we would really never have a way to see otherwise, except in like shadows on the ground. There's the cricket over there. This whole turbine and this propeller, or however you want to call that, that like spins and animates and there's bubbles. On the other hand, the cricket, its propeller thing does not spin, so it's a bit funny to use. Unknown Worlds was like way more thorough than I was. They were caring a lot more about things you couldn't see, which is cool, and I respect that a lot. This mod I've had a lot of sort of comments on where people are like, hey, the controls are difficult. And from the outset, the controls, like, I wanted to avoid using Nautilus, so I didn't just make that little mod options menu like I almost always do. So the controls are like press, move up, and move down at the same time. So on my Xbox controller, it's like right bumper, left bumper. On keyboard, I think it's like shift and space. And you just tap them at the same time to go in and out of third person. Or you hold that chord down to go into the configuration mode. And a lot of people struggled with that, with like understanding press them at the same time. So that has been like a little bit of a struggle. But someone left a comment I just recently bumped me about it, and I learned recently about this configuration manager. Had never tried it before, didn't really know how it worked, but downloaded some mods that use it, whipped out DN Spy and see, looked and saw how they work. And anyway, long story short, I added configuration manager support for this mod, so that now you can use keyboard controls if you want. If you don't download configuration manager, you get the normal functionality, but if you do, you can actually disable the normal functionality, so you can disable the input cord entirely, and do keyboard controls. Unfortunately, configuration manager doesn't support gamepad controls, but there's honestly not that many gamepad controls free to use, so I don't think it matters. Because yeah, someone was like, hey, I hit both in a panic and it kind of like fricked me up. which I had been experiencing too. I was getting accidental inputs. So Configuration Manager is really cool because it's optional. Like, you don't have to have it, but if you have it, you get that extra functionality. So I just pushed that update today. So that was September. So a couple weeks after drone range, I did this. A couple weeks after, no, sorry, well, 1 week, I guess. Wow. I think I had been working on this for a while. 1 week after I published third person, I published this. This was a much bigger bite, sort of, so to speak, to chew than the Crabsquid or the drone range or the third person, actually. Third person has nothing to do with vehicle framework. It was sort of a complex thing, but I think I made it harder than I had to. Anyway, this actually represents a milestone for vehicle framework because I added ARM modules. Vehicles that use vehicle framework can opt in to having ARMs. For example, the Crush is one. So you can see here the Crush has 2 drill arms. And they look nice. Like, they're positioned nicely because the Crush has opted into it. But vehicle framework also supports putting arms on things that haven't opted into it. It looks a bit like silly, maybe, and bad. Like, I think maybe I configured this, but you can see, like, even in the best case, these arms are just plugged into that glass, which makes no sense, and they're actually floating, so it makes no sense. But I wanted people to have the option to put them in if they didn't mind them making no sense. Something that's cool about these arms for vehicle framework, like, it's the regular drill arm model, but you can actually toggle them on, which I think you can't do with the regular drill arm in the exosuit, the prawn, I mean. You can toggle them and leave the vehicle, so I toggled it in the Cricket and the drone, and then I dove out here, and right, they're still going, so that's something you can't do with the normal drill arm. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same, just you can put it on more vehicles now. I did add the same, like, vehicle framework arms can also go on the prawn, so there was actually a drill arm for the prawn, but I think it's still there, actually. You can disable it if you want, but it's the same as the regular one, but you can toggle it. It costs the same, and you build it in the workbench, the modification station, I mean, which I don't remember where you build the normal prawn arm, but pretty much the same. But a user was like, hey, this is like basically the same, and with this tweaks mod I have, I can toggle it already, so can you add an option to disable having, this blueprint, disable the blueprint entirely? And I was like, yeah, no problem, brother. Anyway, another vehicle framework milestone. We have arms now. Thermal charging module. This was another request. A pretty easy one to make. Basically, like, you drive your vehicle somewhere that's hot and your power will come back. Nothing crazy about that. This came out 1 week after drill arm. It probably didn't even take me 1 week to make this. The upgrades are usually easy. The arms are a challenge just because it involves, like, a model and it involves animations. So this was something else. This was another model that I commissioned bespoke for this model. This mod, I mean. And I'm really pleased with the way it looks. I really love this scanner arm. I really hope to be in a position one day where I can commission some more arms like this from, like, that particular artist, because it's really cool. It looks great. It fits the Subnautica style. And it's a really cool functionality, the scanner arm is. So it does probably what you imagine. I think it's intuitive. I don't think I have a video. Oh, I do have a video here. Hold on.
Today I've got something very special to show you. We're gonna have a look.
I'm talking. So
scanner arm mod. This adds an upgrade module for
basically you toggle it on. Shut up. You toggle it on, and it scans the things that you're pointing at, as long as it's, like, toggled on. But you might have to hold the button. Honestly, I don't remember. But it's basically a scanner that you can put on vehicles. And here you can see it working on the exosuit. So here's an arm that's like not redundant with the prawn, right? So I was very pleased to make this one. I think it's a very cool mod, a very cool model. It was fun to make, and it adds like a really neat functionality. There's some people out there saying like, "Wow, this makes like the game easier." You know, it's like game breaking or whatever. Newsflash, brother, you're downloading mods. I'm really proud of this one though. So that was October 11. I guess a month later I had this one. So somewhere between scanner arm and void depth upgrade, I started working on some project that I haven't revealed yet. It's a Nexus mod. I'll just say that much, but something much bigger than what I usually do, and I'm really excited to start teasing its release. But somewhere in the middle of that, I had the idea for this one, or someone requested, or someone just mentioned something related. This is an upgrade, and I was definitely inspired to make it. Does this show that? I think this is still the old upgrade tabs. But anyway, this upgrade module can be on any vehicle, Seamoth, Exosuit, Cyclops, any vehicle, framework vehicle. And it adds, I think it adds like 5,000 crush depth, and it stacks. 5,000 is like an outrageous number. And some folks have said like, hey, this recipe is like too cheap. But the thing about it is, I might add like more kyanite or I don't know. There's like nothing down there unless you download a mod for there to be something down there. So, you know, relatively speaking, it's like kind of a nominal cost. You know, maybe it should cost like 10x what depth 3 costs. Compared to like depth 3, I think, you know, it's understandably pretty cheap. But in my mind, this is totally useless unless you have a mod that like adds stuff to the void. So I'm not really in a big hurry to change the recipe, but I might still. Somebody's got a bug here. They never responded back. That was months ago. Who knows? Let's just change status. Needs more info. All right. Okay. And then it looks like the last one of the year. So that was like 1 month later. I made the speed module. This I think was like another request. Like someone was like, "Hey, will you make this? Will you make vehicle framework compatible with like the better vehicle upgrades mod, which is a purple mod? Better vehicle upgrades. Better vehicle upgrades." Yo, I forgot what it's called. And I don't think I mentioned it here. But anyway, that mod adds a speed module, but you know, obviously it doesn't work on vehicle framework vehicles, so I added one for vehicle framework vehicles, and on the same token, it works on like any vehicle, which is to say, Seamoth, Prawn, Cyclops. Do I really show like? I'm really pleased. This is like a really simple little thing, but this icon, I mean, it opens up and there's I think 3 different ones. So the icon is simple, but I'm happy with it. These stack up. The level 3 one does 3 times as much as the level 1, so they stack up in a pretty intuitive way. 10% boost per upgrade. So if you have 3, you go 133%. Yeah, right. So I say right off the bat, well, not exactly right, but I'm very forward about it's not balanced. It's not like meant to be balanced. I saw a really funny video someone in the Discord server posted where they had like 11 or 12 of these things, and they just kind of like tapped forward and they like shot out of the water and flew, you know, hundreds or thousands of meters. I think it's hilarious, and I'm not gonna like do anything about it. No, it's not balanced. It ain't supposed to be really either. But I do like adding these upgrade modules. Okay, so yeah, that was everything. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I had a rate of like almost one a month. A lot of them are really small, like the thermal charger, the void depth, the speed module, the drone range. So most of these upgrades are small. The arms were really big, and the three vehicles were really big. Third person, honestly, is like kind of a significant mod. Not in the sense of like downloaded a lot, but it was complex in a way that a lot of these upgrades weren't. Alright, so I went like 5 months posting nothing, and then sort of caught back up to like 1 a month speed. Alright, so that's my Nexus 2024 recap. I'll tease one last time, if you're still here, thanks for watching. There's some big mod that I'm getting really happy. We're like very, very close to being able to tease its release. Which is to say it's like nearly done. And then I'm going to start teasing it for a while and then release it. I don't want to say any more about it, but probably... I don't want to make promises, I don't want to write checks I can't cash. It's very close to being completely done. I'll just say that. Okay. Well, like I said, thanks if you made it this far. Thanks for watching. I hope you leave a like and a subscribe and so on. Leave a comment. It's great for engagement. I hope you enjoy the mods I've made. I love getting requests. I love getting bug reports. I love when people tell me their experiences about using these mods. So please do so. And have a good day or afternoon or night or whatever. Enjoy yourself. Be good. Be merry. Until next time. Bye-bye.